388th day of inhuman military siege, communications blockade, and continued restrictions on all forms of freedom of Kashmiri people. In the last few days, the Indian occupation forces have martyred four more Kashmiris in Kupwara, Baramulla, and Shupanya districts of IIOJK. The senior Hurriyat leadership and thousands of Kashmiri youth continue to remain incarcerated on frivolous charges under draconian laws such as Public Safety Act, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and other draconian and black laws. We continue sensitizing the international community, the United Nations, and human rights organizations to take cognizance of the brutal suppression of the Kashmiri people's rights and freedoms in utter violation of international laws and conventions. The world community must use all tools at its disposal to hold India accountable for its crimes against Kashmiri people. I would now like to share with you important developments in the foreign policy domain since our last weekly press briefing. As you know, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi undertook a successful visit to China on 20th and 21st of August 2020. He led Pakistan side in second round of China-Pakistan Foreign Ministers Strategic Dialogue. The two sides exchanged views on COVID-19 pandemic, bilateral relations, and international and regional issues of mutual interest. Both sides agreed to collectively take measures to safeguard their common interests, support each other on issues of core national interest, and promote peace, prosperity, and development in the region. The joint communique issued after the dialogue reiterated that the enduring China-Pakistan all-weather strategic cooperative partnership is an anchor of peace and stability in the region and beyond. It serves the mutual security and development interests of both the countries as well as of international community and regional countries. Pakistan and China also agreed to further strengthen cooperation in developing a vaccine to develop the COVID-19 pandemic. The two sides underscored that China-Pakistan Economic Corridor has entered the new phase of high-quality development and has played and will continue to play an important role in supporting Pakistan to overcome the impact of COVID-19 and achieve greater development. China reiterated its principled position that the Jammu and Kashmir dispute should be resolved peacefully through the UN Charter, relevant Security Council resolutions, and bilateral agreements. China clearly stated that it opposes any unilateral actions that complicate the situation. Appreciating the efforts made by Afghanistan government and the Taliban to initiate the intra-Afghan negotiations, both sides emphasized the importance of an inclusive, broad-based, and comprehensive negotiated agreement for future political settlement in Afghanistan and encouraged relevant parties in Afghanistan to seize this historic opportunity. On 25 August, a Taliban political commission delegation headed by Mullah Abdul Ghani Brother met with Foreign Minister Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi. During the meeting, views were exchanged on the current status of the Afghan peace process and the way forward. Foreign Minister Qureshi underscored Prime Minister Imran Khan's consistent stance that there was no military solution to the conflict in Afghanistan and that a political settlement was the only viable way forward. Highlighting Pakistan's contribution to the peace and reconciliation process, the Foreign Minister underlined that this historic opportunity must be seized by the Afghan stakeholders to secure an inclusive, broad-based, and comprehensive negotiated political solution. The Foreign Minister emphasized the implementation of the US-Taliban peace agreement in its entirety, paving the way for the earliest possible commencement of intra-Afghan negotiations. He also cautioned against spoilers who did not wish to see a return of peace to the region. The foreign minister stressed that Pakistan will continue to support an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace process for durable peace, stability, and prosperity in the region and beyond. Yesterday, Prime Minister Imran Khan had a telephone call with Dr. Abdullah Abdullah, Chairman High Council for National Reconciliation in Afghanistan. The Prime Minister emphasized the importance of Pakistan-Afghanistan bilateral relations and reiterated Pakistan's commitment to further deepen these brotherly ties and enhance cooperation in all areas. Prime Minister underlined his long-standing belief that there was no military solution to the conflict in Afghanistan and that a negotiated political settlement was the only way forward. 2 days ago, Indian National Investigation Agency issued its so-called charge sheet in the last year's Pulwama attack. Pakistan categorically rejects the charge sheet, which mischievously attempts to implicate Pakistan in the Pulwama attack in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The fabrications in the reported charge sheet are patently designed to further the BJP's anti-Pakistan rhetoric and its narrow domestic political interests. It may be recalled that at the outset, Pakistan had rejected India's baseless allegations and expressed readiness to extend cooperation on the basis of any actionable information. India failed to provide any credible evidence for its invective and has instead been using the attack for its malicious propaganda campaign against Pakistan. In response to a paper shared by the Indian government following the Pulwama attack, Pakistan constituted a high-level investigation team to examine the contents of the paper. As the information provided by India was incomplete, patchy, and unsubstantiated, Pakistan shared 2 aide-memoirs seeking further information and supporting evidence from India. India has been unable to provide any corroboration of its unfounded allegations. Pakistan has been forewarning the international community in the past about India's use of false flag operation and possible ill-conceived misadventure. With the approaching state elections in India, the RSS BJP ploy of raising the Pakistan bogey again for making electoral gains is palpable. We warn the world community again to be cognizant of the dangerous consequences of India's belligerent rhetoric and irresponsible actions for peace and security in the region. On a different note, President of Interparliamentary Union, Ms. Gabriela Barron, paid a 5-day official visit to Pakistan from 23rd to 27th of August 2020 on the invitation of Chairman Senate of Pakistan. During the visit, President IPU held meetings with the President, the Prime Minister, Chairman Senate, Speaker National Assembly, and the Foreign Minister of Pakistan. During these meetings, views were exchanged on a wide range of issues including interparliamentary cooperation, COVID-19 pandemic, regional peace and security, risks posed by a growing wave of Hindutva under the RSS BJP regime, and the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. With regard to a drone attack, Pakistan strongly condemns the recent missile and drone attack towards the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia by Houthi militia and calls for immediate cessation of all such attacks. Pakistan reiterates its full support and solidarity with Saudi Arabia against any threats to its security and territorial integrity. On 9 August, 11 members of a Pakistani Hindu family were found dead in suspicious condition in Rajasthan, Jodhpur, India. Our High Commission in New Delhi immediately contacted the Indian Ministry of External Affairs and asked them to share details, including circumstances of death, copy of FIR, and investigation report. The Indian side was also asked to provide immediate consular access to the family and physical presence of mission's doctor and staff members during the post-mortem. Since those who died in India were Pakistani nationals, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that the incident is properly investigated and the findings of the investigations are shared with Pakistan. We would therefore once upon call upon the Government of India to provide the information requested by our High Commission in New Delhi without further delay. And that was all from my part, and I'll be happy to take any questions you may